Photos are wonderful today.
If you're ready, we will roll. This is the Board of Education meeting for which adequate notice under the Open Public Meetings Act was provided by the written notice on January 5th, 2017 to the Courier News, the Echo Sentinel, Star Ledger, Tap Into Warren, and the clerks of the boroughs of Watchung and the townships of Greenbrook, Long Hill, and Warren. Roll call, Mr. Stiles.
Ms. Burrell?
Here.
Mr. Collins? Ms. Demizio?
Here.
Mr. Fahey? Here. Mrs. Feckman? Here. Mr. Hunsinger? Here. Mr. Martins? Here. Dr. Shabilsky? And Mr. Morrison?
Here. Rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. In accordance with the provisions of the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, be it hereby resolved that the board move into executive session to discuss CSA evaluation, confidential student and personnel matters, and board candidate review, after which action may be taken. Matters discussed in executive session will be made public as soon as the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Motion? So moved. Second? All right, we are back. Tonight we have to welcome our student representatives with us again. So, any board correspondence? No. Okay. Then we'll go to the superintendent's comments.
I am going to defer to our students. They have quite a lot to report on, so when we get to them, they'll share more than enough.
And I will defer to them as well. Mr. Stiles?
I can't
You have
defer
an
to them.
exciting report.
I do, yes. I have to do, I send my annual school bus emergency evaluation drill report. So, actually it was this morning, the date October 17th. It was at our building here at 108 Sterling Road. Took place from 7:02 a.m. to 7:24 a.m. It was supervised by Janet T. I'm not even going to try her name anymore. And they looked at all 40 routes, and all 40 routes did well. That's it.
Excellent, Mr. Stiles. So we will go to our student representatives.
Does this work? No, I guess not. So we're pleased to report that 15 Watchung Hill students, they advanced to the semifinalist round in the 2018 National Merit Scholarship Competition, and this is actually the highest number of semifinalists in the school's history. Last spring, there were 68 students that qualified, and that's also a school record. So the semifinalists are Kevin Huang, Calvin Lee, Rachel Liu, Emma Marjalek, Carl Peterson, Michael Rahman, Lindsay Shi, Jeffrey Stickler, Kevin Tan, Craig Virgilio, Olivia Shu, Helen Yang, Linda Yi, Carrie Zhang, and Sherlyn Zhu. Students from the Watchung Hills Choral Ensembles Club performed the national anthem at the TD Bank Ballpark in Bridgewater on Friday, September 8th, 2017. That's also the Patriots Stadium. On September 9th, students from the Tri-M National Music Honor Society Club performed at the 3rd Annual Millington Food Truck Festival in Millington, and performances featured instrumental and vocal performances. And additionally, on September 10th, the Tri-M National Music Honor Society students performed at the Brandywine Nursing Home in Watchung. On Saturday, October 7th, the Watchung Hills Marching Warriors took first in Group 5, which is a competition at Somerville High School. And additionally, the Marching Warriors took first in music and overall effect in Group 5, a competition with their 2017 show, America the Beautiful. And students Peter Wu and Kevin Tan were also recognized by Governor Chris Christie on their 10th place finish in the management decision-making event during the 2017 Future Business Leaders of America Phi Beta Lambda National Leadership Conference in California.
In school events, Senior Parent Night took place on Thursday, September 14th. 12th grade students and their parents met in groups with counselors to talk about the college application process and post-high school plans. The Guidance Department offered a financial aid information meeting on Wednesday, September 27th for parents of college-bound seniors. Dorothy Gillard, A college financial aid officer with many years of experience was the guest speaker. She is a state-certified speaker through HESSA. There were approximately 225 parents in attendance. The free application for federal student aid, FAFSA, is the basis for awarding most of financial aid. The CSS profile is a financial aid form required by some private colleges. FAFSA and CSS profile forms were discussed in the meeting. Mrs. Gillard's presentation can be found on the guidance website. On Wednesday, October 11th, sophomores and juniors took the PSAT, and freshmen enjoyed a variety of programs on note-taking, nabiance, yoga, and challenge day experiences, while seniors participated in the senior class photo.
For school sports, the girls soccer team is headed to the Somerset County Tournament semifinals on Saturday, October 21st against Whrhs. Gymnastics also continues their undefeated season, earning second place in the Somerset County Tournament with Lexi Teakin, Morgan Durant, and Rebecca Brady, all earning individual recognitions. The girls varsity cross country won the 2017 Stewart Memorial Race Championship, and the girls tennis team continues their season, having recently won the 2017 SCIAA Championship and the Westfield Invitational. Congratulations to Brenda Payne for her top 16 finish in the NJSIAA singles tournament. Also to Sydney Sharma for qualifying and competing in the NJSIAA singles semifinals, and Caitlin Yang and Sophia Weaver for making it to the doubles NJSIAA quarterfinals. The girls tennis team today also won the state sectionals competition.
Excellent. Thank you very much. That will bring us to the first opportunity for public comment. The first public comment period will be limited to agenda items for this meeting only. The second public comment period will be open to any topic. All comments are limited to 5 minutes. Any comments on agenda items only at this time? Great. Seeing none, we will move into the board discussion. For the board discussion, before we move into that, I have a walk-in resolution to present. At our last meeting, Glenn Master Batista resigned his seat. Therefore, the board needs to adopt a resolution accepting that resignation. And the resolution that I have that I will read is this. Resolved that the Watchung Hills Regional Board of Education accept the resignation of Mr. Glenn Master Batista as of 10/31/17. May I have a motion, please?
10/3.
I'm sorry, 10/3/17.
So moved. Second.
Roll call, please.
We don't have to do a roll call, do we? I guess so.
This is just to accept the resignation?
Yes.
Yeah, correct. Okay, I'll just, Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Collins? Oh, sorry, he's not here. Ms. Demizio?
Yes.
Ms. Fahey?
Yes.
Mrs. Spector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Martins?
Yes.
Dr. Shapilski?
Yes.
And Mr. Morris?
Yes.
Okay, motion carried.
All right, so that brings us to the board discussion item of the open seat. As a result of Mr. Master Batista's resignation, we have to follow a process to fill the open seat. The process was to alert the Board of Education of the vacancy and then also publicize the vacancy along with a process and timeline to fill the seat. That process was publicized with the deadline of the 13th to receive all the applications, whereby we would be reviewing the candidates at this particular meeting this evening. So this evening we have one of the candidates that was able to join us. We have the resume from the second, and I see a representative of the other candidate here with us as well. So at this point in time, first thing I'd like to do is invite the candidates to come before the board and make comments, and then answer any questions that the board members may have. That will then be followed by any nominations that the board would want to make at that time. So, Mr. Fallon, would you like to address the board?
Peter Fallon, 18 Gregory Lane, Warren, New Jersey. I also did submit a resume to Tim with certain qualifications on Friday, but I'll go through it as best I can. I served 2 terms on the Warren Township K-8 Board of Education from 2000 to 2006. After that, I was elected to 2 consecutive terms to the Watchung Hills Regional High School Board of Education, then was off for 1 year and then ran again and was elected to and served a third 3-year term on this board as well. During my last term on the board, I was also appointed to be a representative to the New Jersey School Boards Association Legislative Committee, and I served on that committee during my last term. I'm also active in a couple of nonprofits here in Somerset County and also active locally in Warren. I've lived in Warren since 1991. My daughter's a graduate of this school. I'm a practicing attorney with a subspecialty in doing investigations for school districts around the state on affirmative action matters. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions for Mr. Fallon?
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. The other candidate for the position is Mr. Joseph Horan. You all received his resume and additional information in your packets. So is there any questions or discussion around Mr. Horan, or I don't know, Diana, are you here on his behalf?
I'm here on his behalf, but I wasn't expected to speak. Well, let's just pretend I'm him because it's about his.
Well, you're welcome to come up and address the board if you wish.
Like just to, you could just know that I'm here.
Okay. Excellent. Well, the one thing that I will say is I've personally known Joe Horan for more than a decade. He's been a wonderful contributor to our community, to this school, to youth sports, to the music program, with 2 children that have come through here. And the one thing that I will say is that in times where the vast majority of board seats go either unfilled or have single candidates, it's encouraging to have 2 candidates of such caliber be able to come forward to fill a position for such a very short period of time. So I think that's a tribute to both of the candidates that came forward, and we certainly appreciate both of them and their desire to be of service to the community. So thank you both for that.
Can I say one more thing that I forget? Sorry about that. Many of you may know, but some of you may not. I am on the ballot on November 7th to fill the 3-year term from Warren Township. At this point, it's unopposed on the ballot.
Great. Thank you, Peter. Any discussion about the candidates amongst the board members? Seeing none, do we have a motion to seat an individual? Yes, Lisa. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. How does it work? Let's nominate Pete Fallon? Is that-
That's what I was going to suggest, just someone makes a
Someone makes a nomination, and then we take it from there.
I second it.
So we have a motion and a second to appoint Peter Fallon to the unexpired term from this evening until the end of December. Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Jablowski.
I would just make a comment that Mr. Horan's obviously in a challenging position because there's only a few meetings left, and it would be really a lack of continuity. I think that's potentially problematic for a board in doing its business. But I would certainly, on behalf of myself, say that he would be an excellent candidate, and I would like to see him run for a future seat where he could actually be involved in the board for a full 3-year term.
I agree with that.
Excellent. Any other discussion?
Still a question. Does someone, will the candidate tonight get sworn in?
The
Are we going to do that?
candidate tonight will be sworn in this evening. Any other questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. DeMizio?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Fechner?
Yes,
Mr. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
You can vote now, see?
That's right.
Dr. Shabelski?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison?
Yes,
Motion carries.
it is unanimous. Mr. Fallon, welcome back. If you would please come forward so that we can do the swearing in.
Just buy another name for it. Just got to pull it out.
Yeah, that's right, we got it. Thanks. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I insert your name.
I, Peter Fallon,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the state of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established
to the same and to the governments established
in the United States and this state
in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I insert your name.
I, Peter Fallon,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my
to the best of my
ability,
abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Proclamation from last time. Getting a collection of them.
And again, I just want to restate again our appreciation for Mr. Horan's willingness to serve, and I would also encourage him not only to look at the opportunity to run for a full term, but also I'd like to find other ways that we at the board and at the administration can engage him, with the school, because he's got a wonderful background and expertise and love to take advantage of. We don't have enough people like him, so we don't want to let him go. So, thank you. All right, moving on, we have our action items. Sorry, our A items.
Chris isn't here to move everything, what are we going to do?
I'd like to move items A1 to A12.
second.
Any discussion?
Yes, about that. There are just some wonderful things in the A's, and I would like to highlight them. As I go through the community, people don't always know some of the activities that our students are able to partake in. And the ones that I see, A3, we have a Holocaust Memorial Museum trip going to Washington. And A4, we have a group going to New York City to see Anastasia. I think there's a longer term to that show. I can't remember it, but I know I've seen it. And then we have a group going to see Madame Butterfly in South Orange at the PAC. We have a group, Junior States of America Mid-Atlantic Fall State Conference. We're very impressed with the amount of activities that we offer here. The group is going to Nokia Bell Laboratories. I'd love to go on a tour of that one myself. We have our Model United Nations Club and the Institute for Domestic and International Affairs at Rutgers. We have a group going to Kane University on the Diversity Council Leadership Training. We have our LLD Math and ADL are traveling to Menlo Park Mall for some kind of support team there. And then our robotics group is going down to North Brunswick High School. And as I read that, I just felt we should highlight that, and the community, I think, would be quite impressed with that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Stiles.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. DeMizio?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Fechner?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Abstain on 1 and 2, and yes on the rest.
Dr. Shabelski?
Abstain on 1 and 2, and yes for the rest.
And Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Right.
I'd like to move move items A13 and A14.
Second.
Discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Mizia?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey? Yes. Ms. Fector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger? Yes. Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
I'd like to move items C1 to C20.
Oh, we got a B.
Got a B.
I'm sorry, we did have a B. Oh, yeah, there is a B1 hidden under there. Well, maybe I like C better.
I'd like to move B1.
Second.
Liz, do you have any comments on B1, or are we good?
No, unless anyone had any questions.
Any questions on B1? All right, roll call, Mr. Stiles.
Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Mizia?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey? Yes. Ms. Fector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger? Yes. Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Abstain?
Dr. Shabilsky?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
So now I'll move items C1 to C20.
Second.
Discussion?
I just wanted to know
Yes, sir.
what's going on at C12, the ski club. Is the ski club not being approved, or what's going on with that?
The ski club is approved, the advisor resigned.
Oh, okay, thanks. Just wondered.
Any other questions, discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Mizia?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Fector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Motion's carried.
I'd like to move items D1 to D18.
Second.
Someone has to,
Discussion on D1 to 18.
it's one of,
Seeing-
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the motion.
Moving D1 to D18.
Yeah,
I second.
thank you.
Sorry.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Mizia?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey? Yes. Pen ran out. Ms. Fector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Okay, motion's carried.
Finally, I'd like to move items D19 to D23.
Second.
Do you have something to say? or?
Discussion. Anything? All right. Roll call, Mr. Stiles.
Ms. Barone?
Yes.
Mr. Mizia?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Fector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Yes.
Dr. Shabilsky?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison.
Yes.
Okay, motion's carried.
Mr. Fallon, yes, sir.
Before I had been elected to the board, I had made arrangements to attend the school board's conference on the 25th and, 24th and 25th. And so now that I'm a member of the Board of Education, I'd like to see if we could consider having the board approve my attendance there and contribute to the cost.
I have figures. I know what the daily cost is.
Is that something for discussion?
Of course it is. It's a Board of Education, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I have the numbers if you want.
And that's basically, if you're a board member, whoever goes, there's a contribution towards the, or how does it work normally?
We reimburse per diem rates per the travel policy. So for a hotel room, for example, it's $104 a night. It's, it doesn't cover the full cost. The mileage is around $80 from here to there and back. Parking, meals at the per diem rates, and I know you usually take that law course.
Yeah.
I think Lisa's taking that too, right? So I know that's about $249.
Yeah.
So that would, I can kind of give you the specific figures if you wish.
But so it's clear, any board member can attend
Right.
Yes.
the meeting and whatever courses they would like, and we'll
That's what I
vote
was
for.
basically getting at. as a
Yeah,
board member.
as long as the board approves it in advance, that's all.
Okay, all right, so we'd have to add it as an agenda item.
Right,
Not approve it.
you have to approve it in advance, and actually, Peter would have to abstain, or anybody else who's traveling would have
All
to
right.
abstain.
Well,
That's
I'll move, I don't have to have those costs.
The cost, I just,
It's allowed with the policy, so why?
Right.
it's approximately $732 and some change,
Okay.
so
I
I
can move to
just
add
did
that
the
as an agenda
mileage,
item, I don't.
the parking, the tolls.
I'll second. That's fine.
Okay, we've got a motion to approve,
And Bruce second.
and Bruce second.
A motion to add,
A motion to,
right, I think first,
First it has to get added.
add, and then you gotta move to
Okay.
approve.
Wait, who added it?
I added it.
Thank you, Rita. Okay, so we do a roll call vote? All right. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Mizio?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Spector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Abstain.
Yeah. Dr. Shabelski?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison?
yes.
Okay, that motion carries.
So now we need
That was to add.
one to
Now you
approve.
need to, yeah.
I move to approve the motion, the
D20.
resolution to
D24.
approve the travel costs, whatever costs you just explained for Mr. Fallon to attend the convention.
I'll second.
You better be really nice to Brenda tomorrow when she has to interpret your minutes.
Any discussion? And Mr. Size, anyone that's attending has to abstain?
No,
No, you've already been approved.
Okay.
you've been approved. If you have to abstain from your own travel
Got it,
reimbursement,
great.
that's
All right, then roll call, please.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Mr. Mizio?
Yes.
Mr. Fahey?
Yes.
Ms. Spector?
Yes.
Mr. Hunsinger?
Yes.
Mr. Martins?
Yes.
Mr. Fallon?
Abstain.
Dr. Shabelski?
Yes.
And Mr. Morrison?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Anything else anyone's going to add before we move on? Just double checking. All right, this brings us to our second opportunity for public comment. This is open to any items. Please state your name and the community that you are from.
Good evening, Pete Martino, Watchung, 15 Sunbright Road. I always like to start out by thanking you guys for your service. I know you guys are all volunteers. I don't make it up here enough, but thank you for your service. I have a question with regards to the last meeting, and it had to do with the executive session. I believe something was discussed, and I believe it is considered confidential.
Well, first, just as a point of order, public comment period is not a question and answer period
Okay.
with the board. It's an opportunity for you to address the board on a particular topic, but we are not going to engage in
Very well.
dialogue.
I believe that after that executive session, confidentiality was not maintained. The public portion after that discussed a majority of the things that were discussed during that executive session. All right, it had to do with, I believe, a student. The student is a minor, okay? The problem I have with that is, again, it was very easy to figure out who this student was, okay? Information was divulged after that executive session. It ended up in a news blog, okay? After that, social media kicked in. I do not believe a child, okay, should have to be subjected to that, all right? I was unhappy with the way it was handled by the school. I was very unhappy on the way it was handled by the board that evening, okay? I was very unhappy the way the newspaper handled it, okay? I have made many attempts to contact the school with regards to this. I have received very, very little in return, okay? I don't know how it got to the agenda, okay? If this was a disciplinary issue, there are levels. 9130 is your policy. It starts at the lowest level, the teacher, the coach, then it goes up into the supervisory level, the deans of discipline, the principal, the superintendent, and then to the board, if I'm not mistaken. Did that happen? I don't know.
Was this child's parents notified that this child was being investigated by this board? I don't know. All right, this brings up some very serious issues that I feel need to be addressed. And basically, just up against a brick wall. Okay? How did he get on the agenda? That is really my ultimate question that I'm not asking right now. All right, how did it get on the agenda if it didn't go through all of these levels? This could have all been handled very simply, okay? And it is in your 9130 policy. And it states, any misunderstandings or disputes between the public and school district staff should, whenever possible, be settled by direct, informal discussion amongst interested parties. Why does that not happen? Why does that not happen? I don't understand. Face-to-face communication is the best. Okay, verbal communication next, and then written after that. Emails unanswered, telephone calls not returned, meetings requested, never set up. This has been going on for months, okay? The school board needs to know this. The administration, as far as I'm concerned, has a policy. Why is it not being followed? All right, do you think our children need to go through this? I don't think they do. Okay, this needs to be handled. They are children. Children cannot discipline themselves. That's what we're here for. Parents, the board, the teachers, the administration. Children are being left to handle things on their own, unsupervised. I went to school here, I graduated here, I've been in this district for, 40 years. I have never seen anything like this. I know we're at the age of social media. Everybody hides behind a screen. There's no faces anymore, no eyes. You don't get the truth out of somebody unless you look in their eyes. How come we don't do this anymore? How come we can't get together and just for the benefit of our children? I don't understand. Okay, we have codes of conduct. These kids sign codes of conduct. They're thrown to the wayside. They pick and choose what they want to follow. Okay? And you know what? And I'm going to go right into the news also. These blogs, you only have half the information. What about the other half? How can you just discuss one half of a topic, okay, and then have adults bash a child on social media? This is unacceptable, and this was all divulged through this body. You started this. What are you going to do about it? I really need to know. We took it upon ourselves to handle this with the newspaper, and they removed some stuff here and there. Okay, but it's too late. It's out there. It's going to be out there forever. All right? I just don't understand why we need to stand here and talk about this when we are adults, okay? And we should be handling the children. Okay, we should be educating them. What is their 4 years? What is their summary for their 4 years? I heard all kinds of stuff after your last meeting, and it sounded like the majority of it was people walking out on the field on senior night. One night, one moment under the sun. That's not what 4 years at Watch on Hill should be. 4 years at Watch on Hill should be an education, a preparation for the future, life skills. That's not done in one night, okay? It's really not. And for every child that goes out onto that field, how many don't? We have 10, 15, 20 on the percentage. What about them? They have no use here. They have nothing to remember this by. Remember all of the kids, not just the one, the two, the three popular ones. Okay? What are we doing? What are we educating here? I'm not seeing it. I hope to God somebody will contact me. I really do. Mr. Morrison, I would appreciate a phone call from you. I'd love to talk to you. Okay? I really would. My number is accessible through the superintendent. I would really appreciate it, because you know what? We have a lot of loose strings here, okay? And what I have seen over the last 2 months, is not good. It's not good for the kids. It's not teaching them. It's not teaching them good life skills, okay? I will be asking for some information over the next couple of days. Mr. Stice, I believe I asked for some Oprah stuff. You want a little more specificity in it? Absolutely. I will get back to you on that. Again, I want to thank you guys for your service. I hope we can rectify this, and I hope it never happens again, because no child should have to go through this embarrassment and harassment, okay? And actually, judge, jury, and executioner, it seems like was your member that resigned. Okay, listen, you guys have a job to do, but you're supposed to be objective, and you're supposed to be non-biased. From what I heard from the minutes that night, it really sounded like someone came with already with a predetermined answer before that executive session even happened. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. If people are going to act that way and not give our children the respect, the residents the respect, and even the teachers the respect of objectivity, then they really don't deserve to sit on this board. I hope everybody on this board can look at our children equally and then make the judgment with the facts. That's what I pray to God that you guys are doing on a regular basis. And you guys don't do the flag salute before the meeting?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did? Oh, I guess it's 7 o'clock? I apologize, I guess I wasn't here for that one. Listen, thank you for your time. And if at all possible, I would love to speak to anybody on this board. I know the sunshine, law, I know only 2 or 3 can get together, but if you could take a couple of minutes out of your busy schedules to sit down with a parent and a resident and a taxpayer, I would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Martino.
Can we just ask for some clarification? What made its way onto the agenda? Just so I can...
Well, as I understand it, nothing made its way onto the agenda.
That's what I'm just looking, or trying to get some clarification.
Are we closing public comment?
We're going to close, public comment is closed. Board discussion.
So there was no question on that?
No, public comment is done, so now the board will have a discussion. So, as, you know, certainly, there was nothing on the agenda. What came up in public comment is what comes up in public comment.
Right.
What comes up in executive session is brought to the public once, you know, the information is no longer held confidential. But it wasn't there's never anything that is handled in executive session that is then brought to the public until such point in time that it is appropriate. What happens during public comment period and the opinions and comments expressed by those in the public are those of the public and do not reflect the opinions or thoughts of this body. This body, when it speaks, and the members speak for themselves. But, you know, at no point in time during that particular meeting did any member of this body discuss any individual student. And as a point of clarification, I admonished the public before speaking not to talk about any individual student because of the governing law. And as far as I can see, that was followed on that particular evening. So, you know, from my perception of it and my recollection of it, I'm sure both the video recording and the minutes and the records will show that this body acted, you know, appropriately. As far as how press handles things, I learned a long time ago never to figure out how they're going to handle it. So I think as of clarifying some of the points that were made, you know, that's certainly my point of view. If there's any other clarifications that are needed, I'd be happy to address them. Or comments from the board. Good, seeing none, do we have any other business?
I'm just wondering, we had our strategic plan, or we had a retreat
Yes.
And what are our next, do we ever have, again, I wasn't here last meeting, but are we going to discuss next steps? Like, what are we doing in that regard?
We're waiting for the volunteers to descend upon us.
Okay.
Yes. The superintendent and I are eagerly awaiting the volunteers for the establishment or the development of the process to establish the expected school-wide learning results for our students.
Okay.
And the second element is that, we did discuss at the last meeting, I've been directed to reach out to the presidents of the sending districts so that we can convene a meeting to talk about areas where we may be able to cooperate, identify maybe some shared services opportunities for the benefit of our taxpayers.
So the volunteers, you're looking for our board member volunteers?
Yes.
Oh, okay, so I can do that.
And although I wasn't at the last meeting, I was at the retreat, so I'll also volunteer.
There we go.
And basically what we're going to do is get together to actually discuss what the process will be for who we want to involve, so.
Okay.
Thank you for volunteering.
No problem.
I'll do that.
There's ESLR, I like it.
There we go.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for your volunteering.
For your eagerness.
Excellent.
I just hate to decide things and then we never move on.
No, we did discuss both of them at the last meeting, so. All right. If there is no other business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Great. Thank you all.